Am I gonna start a YouTube channel? Hi, this is Future Jessica here, and I just want to interject real quick and give you a little bit of a disclaimer about what this first video is going to be like. The footage that I'm about to show you, I recorded just very much as a stream of consciousness. I really didn't even know what video it would end up becoming, and I took a lot out because your girl was rambling, okay? And so what I kind of decided to do, because I did think that a lot of what I recorded was a good explanation of like why I want to start a YouTube channel, kind of a little introduction on like me and my business for anybody who might not know who I am or how I got started already. But also, I felt like it was boring for me to just straight up talk to the camera for like 20 minutes or however long this video ends up being without anything else. And that's the goal for the future, is to have videos that are very interactive and like showing me working on a project, or, you know, taking you to the yarn store or whatever. You know, like I want to show you guys more stuff, than it's not just me hitting record on a camera and talking at you for half an hour. So what I did was I took some clips over the past few days, mainly a couple days ago, and I did kind of like a day in the life type situation, and I figured I could just kind of intercut some of those things either over the top of me talking or in between me talking, just to kind of break it up a little bit. So this is gonna be maybe a weird first video because it's not necessarily going to be the style of all of my future videos. But that being said, enjoy my first video. Man, I haven't used this camera for anything other than live streaming in years. So it's weird to be like actually holding and talking to this camera. But I'm kind of thinking about starting a YouTube channel. If you're seeing this, I mean, that means I did. I've been working for a while now, today, like, well, okay, past few days. The past few days I have been working on getting my summer crochet subscription boxes ready to ship out. They're shipping out in a few days. I've been coming up against this weird conundrum lately where normally when I'm working on orders and working on stuff for my business, I go live, and it's a great way to meet more friends and interact with people and kind of pass the time and grow my business and all that stuff rolled into one, because I can go live and I can show the stuff and I can talk about the stuff and I can hang out. But now that I started doing these subscription boxes where the items are supposed to be kind of a surprise or a mystery, well, all of a sudden I can't go live because I don't want to spoil what's in the box and I can't show what I'm working on. So I've been like, okay, well, what the heck am I gonna do with my time if I am spending all this time working on this stuff and I can't go live? And so I've been watching a lot of crochet YouTubers, crochet YouTube vlogs, and the more I watch them, the more I'm like, I could do this and I would be good at it. Like I could really do this, you know? And I feel like I have a lot to share between my crochet stuff and the subscription boxes and, you know, just all the fun little bits of vlogging, day in the life and all that. I love it. I love vlogs. I love it all. I love watching them. And I used to love making them, and I haven't in years. I've had multiple YouTube channels over the years, but I've never done a crochet one. And I've certainly never done one for my business specifically, but I just feel like I really want to. And so if you're seeing this, I decided to pull the trigger. I have just been having so much fun. So specifically, I've been watching Passionate Kelsey. I've been watching her vlogs, and I started, like one of her videos popped up on my YouTube recommended feed. I watched it. I don't know how I haven't heard of her before. Actually, I think I have, but because it says Passionate, I always assumed that she was just like only a knitter, and I didn't realize that honestly the majority of what she does is crochet. And so once I watched one of her videos, then I started watching more. And you know how like once you start watching a few of somebody's videos, then it's like you just want to binge them all. So literally the like past week or so, as I've been working on my summer subscription box, I have been watching every single one of her vlogs. I'm almost caught up to current day. But and there's like over 200 of them. So I've been watching a lot of her vlogs, and the more that I watch of her vlogs, the more I'm like, I want to do this. I want to do this. I'm no stranger to editing videos. It would certainly be another thing on my plate, and I'm a busy lady. I have a lot of things on my plate, and that's the only reason I haven't pulled the trigger on this so far, because I have a lot on my plate. And truthfully, I really don't need to add another thing onto my plate. But I almost am at the point where I would be willing to take something off of my plate in order to make room on my plate, to put this on my plate. I just need a bigger plate, dang it. I really do think that this would be a good move for me creatively, for my business to be able to grow. I'm just trying to make sure this isn't like a phase where I get really excited about something and like hyper fixated on it, and then a couple weeks later I've moved on to something else. And so today, while I was working on stuff, and I'm at a point where I'm waiting on some more supplies to be able to keep working, so I'm kind of having to take a break from packing things up and getting things ready. And I thought, let me just pick up the camera and I'll just start recording. And if I never turn this into anything, then there's no harm in that. But I can start documenting this, and then I can go back and edit later if I want to. Everything with TikTok, who knows? It almost got banned a while ago, and then they brought it back, but technically that was just another extension of the deadline. And it's becoming more and more of a good idea to diversify in terms of social media and you know, your presence online in general. So here I am thinking about this. I am also having to come to terms with my face. Just raw the way that it is, because I am no longer a makeup girly. The last time I had a YouTube channel, I would do my makeup before a vlog, and I'm just gonna be so for real with you, that's not gonna be happening on this channel. The older I've gotten, the more time has gone by, the more I realize I just do not enjoy wearing makeup. And truly, I can say this. Years ago, I would have said this and I would have been lying. But I can say this now, and it's the absolute truth. I genuinely like my face better without makeup than I do with. Now, maybe if I had nicer makeup and I knew more about applying it, I would feel differently, but every time I put makeup on, I literally just think to myself, I don't even like the way this looks. I don't like it better than just my bare face. That's just where I'm at. And why spend money or time on something if I don't even enjoy it and I don't even like the way it looks? However, I have become accustomed to TikTok filters, and I don't do the crazy filters that like totally change the shape of your face and add heavy makeup and all kinds of craziness, but I do have a couple filters I like that kind of just, you know, do a little bit of touching up, a little bit of a something to just kind of round everything out. And so I am having to get used to not having that, which is fine because, like I said, I like my face, but it is an adjustment. There's gonna be a lot of yapping. There's gonna be a lot of rambling on this channel, and I hope that you guys are okay with that and along for the ride. I do know, I try to limit myself to the yapping on TikTok, but I do not do a good job. Let's be real. My videos are always longer than they should be on TikTok. But the nice thing about YouTube is you guys are built different. You guys are built different. You're in it for the long haul. And usually when I turn on a YouTube video, I don't want it to be 5 minutes long. I'm like, give me a good hefty, you know, 20-minute, 40-minute, hour-long vlog. Like, I'm in it, okay? I'm sat. I want to get cozy. I want to work on a project while I just have this kind of going on in the background. And so hopefully I can be that for you. And you can just get a nice little crochet project or work on whatever you need to work on, and we can hang out together. That's the vibe. That's the vibe we're gonna go for. And let's just go right to square one. I am a crocheter first and foremost. I love crocheting. And I started a little small biz online a few years ago called Berg's Nest Crochet. And the reason it's called Berg's Nest Crochet It's because my last name is Berg. And if you want to go back to the beginning, when my husband and I got married, we created our little wedding hashtag. Do people still do wedding hashtags? It was a big thing when we got married, right around that time. And you had to pick a clever, cute wedding hashtag. And so ours was the Love Bergs, like the Love Birds, but Bergs, because our last name was Sellenberg. And then when we purchased our home, we converted the hashtag slightly to the Berg's Nest, because we were doing a lot of renovations and DIY projects and updates and stuff. And so anytime we'd post a picture or a little update on the house, we would put hashtag the Berg's Nest on the post. And then it became the name for our Wi-Fi. Our Wi-Fi says Berg's Nest Wi-Fi. And it just kind of stuck. So when I wanted to launch a crochet business, I was trying to come up with a name, and I was having a hard time thinking of something that I really liked. And so I asked Michael if he had any ideas, and he was like, what about Berg's Nest Crochet? And I was like, oh, that's super cute. And so that stuck, and we ran with it. And so here we are, Berg's Nest Crochet. And originally, when I launched that business, I wanted it to be selling finished crochet pieces. And I'm not gonna lie, I was telling you guys how I've been recently just binging Passionate Kelsey's vlogs. And there is a little, just a little tiny hint of jealousy that I am fighting. Because, I mean, she has a massive following. I'm looking at her thing right now. She has 714,000 subscribers on YouTube. That is a massive audience. And so it's not surprising that basically anything she crochets and posts on her website, it like instantly is purchased, you know? And she does these drops and she basically sells out of everything every time. Unsurprising, given the amount of followers that she has. That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to sell finished crochet pieces. And I chose TikTok as kind of my main platform. That was where I was going to meet customers and sell items and build my business. Well, when I started posting, and I was posting about my crochet, the algorithm kind of put me in this box of, oh, you're a crocheter. Well, here's a bunch of other crocheters, which is great for building community. However, it was not great for finding customers and building my business, because all the people that TikTok was sending me already could make the stuff that I was making. So I had a choice. I had kind of a crossroads moment where I was like, well, I can either be angry and discouraged about this, or I can pivot and I can try to come up with something else that I could provide to this audience, this community that's already here, and try to think of something that they would actually need / want. There are a lot of crochet adjacent things that crocheters need and want. A lot of people at the time were doing the felt eyes for amigurumi crochet. There were a lot of people that were starting to make crochet hooks with silicone beads and different things like that. And so I saw these kind of little niches of crochet accessories, and I was like, you know, there's enough people already doing those things. I don't think I need to also try and occupy that space. Like, they've got that covered, you know? And as I started kind of looking around and just trying to find a gap that I could fill, the thing that really stuck out to me was laser engraved faux leather tags and patches. So I had ordered them for myself. I had gone on Etsy and found somebody who did, you know, the little faux leather tags, and ordered them with my logo so that I could put them on pieces. I had also ordered some that weren't custom, but they were just like little coffee themed tags, because I was making a lot of little like coffee cup cozies. So I knew they were out there, but I didn't see them being talked about on TikTok nearly as much as like the felt eyes or the silicone bead hooks and stuff. And I started looking into what I would need to make it happen, and I kind of slowly convinced myself, like, this is what I want to do. And my mission became, and this is still on my website, to make custom, affordable accessories for the small fiber artist. So kind of my little niche, my little specialty is making the custom stuff and the pre-designed stuff too. I have lots of different themed collections on my website, but making custom tags, patches, different accessories, reasonable, within reach, affordable for fiber artists who don't have 714,000 subscribers. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It would be amazing if I could get to that point as well. But for the person who doesn't have hundreds of dollars to drop on custom stuff, they just need 20 tags for their next little farmer's market where they're trying to make some extra money for their family. You know what I mean? Sometimes custom stuff, first of all, custom stuff can be expensive. And secondly, sometimes you have to order large quantities of custom stuff. Like a business doesn't want to take a custom order unless it's worth their while, which I understand if you're a large business. I wanted to make custom things accessible to people who don't need to purchase 200 tags. Maybe they just need 20. So that's kind of what I've, you know, kind of launched my business based on. And that's what I have continued to do. Okay, now that past Jessica is done rambling, I wanted to check back in with you and see what are you guys thinking? What's the vibe? What are we thinking? I think that a lot of my videos on this account are gonna be very like a cozy crochet vlog, a day in the life, a week in the life, taking you through a project that I'm working on start to finish. So hey, I wanna do this blanket, this clothing piece, this home decor thing, and then I take you through the process start to finish. Maybe it's a like going through my yarn stash, or a tour of my crochet studio, or a tour of all of my crochet wardrobe. Like, what kind of stuff do you guys want to see? My disclaimer that I'm gonna put out there right away is that I will not be doing crochet tutorials of patterns, of stitches of any kind. That's not something that I enjoy. It's not something that I'm good at. And I'm just setting that boundary and letting you guys know right up front, tutorials is not something that I'm gonna be doing. But the vlog type stuff, the like crochet diary, if there's a crochet challenge, like letting my husband pick the project, or trying to use up all of the yarn in my scrap yarn basket, or whatever. I would love to know what you guys would like to see. And my brain is like exploding from all the possibilities of all the things, all the videos that I could make, all the things that I could make, and it's very exciting. But that being said, like and subscribe, you know? That's a thing that I guess I will be saying from now on. But truly, like at the very beginning of this channel, it's very, very helpful and very, very important for you guys to like the video and subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss. I don't know what my normal upload schedule is going to look like quite yet. I do want to upload with a regular, hopefully weekly schedule, but I'm still kind of figuring all of that out. So be patient with me, but let me know what you'd like to see. Let me know what you thought of today's vlog, and I will see you next time. Bye!